Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to GitGud North America Season 7 Intermediate Division. I'm your play-by-play caster, Joe Razor, joined here by my beautiful, wrong side, beautiful Dividing by Zero. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Absolutely looking forward to these matches we have lined up for you today. Playoffs are just around the corner, and with that, every team is vying to get those extra map and match wins necessary to get themselves to the postseason of GitGud Season 7. And that is very much the case between these two teams we're about to watch in the Intermediate Division, Lucios versus Riamus Daycare.
Yeah, both teams are kind of sitting around upper middle of the table, so both teams are fairly good. 6th spot for Riamus Daycare, and then 8th for Lucios. So both doing pretty good this season, but as they come to a close, they need to secure a couple more wins to be able to push themselves up to the standings to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. To be 100% clear about where these two teams stand, both of them are currently 4 wins, 2 losses on the season. And like we mentioned, the way Intermediate works, there's 2 Intermediate divisions in GitGud, and the top 8 from each of those 2 divisions will come together into a 16-team bracket for the playoffs. So we are looking for the top 8 teams in this division to move on, and today we are currently looking at numbers 6 and number 8 currently for Lucios and Riamus Daycare, respectively. Now, I don't want to say this is a win and in, lose and go home kind of situation, because both teams will have another game on Sunday.
It's pretty close, though.
It's pretty close. It is very much a crucial game, and the winner of this game puts themselves in a much better situation to make the overall playoffs.
Yeah, it's a very important game, especially trying to build momentum towards the playoffs as well. If you can get these last 2 wins underneath your belt and get the team morale high heading into playoffs, the team spirit you can increase team spirit by that. And so I hope these teams do well today as we are getting ready to hop into our game. Our first map is going to be Lijiang Tower.
We love to see some Lijiang gameplay. I love to see it. More than I think most control maps, Lijiang offers the opportunity to see all sorts of different kinds of play styles throughout the 3 different sections of the map. Currently starting off on Control Center, which is going to be very, very interesting, as we're going to be probably looking to see some brawl coming out from both teams.
Yeah, I would expect to see brawl from both sides, as this is kind of the default for this map. Only question is what you're going to see in the DPS line. Looks like we're going to see a Sim Junkrat from both sides. Currently, they're hovering the mirror comp.
Yeah, interesting. Both teams opt to go with the Sigma. Reborn onto the Doom as well, trying to get those one-shots off with the hunt. Sigma will allow for a lot more overall damage, but not as much utility damage mitigation you'd get from a D.Va or a Sigma. Or Zarya.
Yeah, as Reborn gets cut off there. Taken down by Taken Wall. There's a trade, though, and I would always prefer to have your main tank alive, but it will not matter as Dempsey and Tanikby end up dropping for Lucios. This is a very nice engagement by Riamus Daycare, and the team running the Spectre will come out on top in this opening fight.
Yeah, the Doomfist coming out from Reborn on Team Lucios is a very high-risk, high-reward play. The Doomfist obviously very good at getting in and getting quick one-shot kills with that punch. However, if he misses, it becomes very, very difficult for him to get out. He gets caught out first there, and then the rest of the team falls apart. And Bifle's winning the Junk 1v1 there.
I don't know if I would consider it a 1v1. He kind of just lobbed grenades down. But the Ambitrix is going to come out, and it's going to put a lot of pressure onto them. Reborn in the back as this stun comes forward onto the Reinhardt, and then you see the Flux pick up 2 players and kill both immediately. Reborn gets caught out once again, but it will not turn into anything greater than that, as Lucios with a very nice counter engage managed to flip it open.
Very scrappy fight there coming out from both teams. Many casualties on both sides, but I think Fruit did a very good job on the side of Lucios, using the Gravitic Flux to stop Riamus Daycare in their tracks. And that, I think, was kind of the turning point in that fight. Now moving in to the next fight, Riamus Daycare will have the Riptire to work with, and we're coming out with it now.
Yeah, Riptire's gonna come out. Good shatter, and then, oh my days. Picks up a 2K. Kills, both the support line does end up falling as well, so just no heals remaining for Reddit Lucios. This is looking like Riamus Daycare are just gonna roll on through and get a flip back over.
Yeah, beautiful shatter there coming out from Crake in order to set up the 2K Riptire from Feifels. And, you know, the follow-up from Crake, also good. Already over halfway to another shatter. Just shows how this team was really good at following up on that shatter, which is difficult.
Yeah, Fox is going to come through. We have a sound barrier there for Reddit Lucios to keep everybody alive. We have the same ultimates coming out, but this time on the other side. Shatter's laid down, but you see that Symbol is up to try to peel for the remaining members of Riamus Daycare. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Both Reinhardt's fall. Reborn is going to pull out his Doomfist ultimate. A lot of damage onto the Sigma, and it's going to end up going down there as Frozen picks up a 2K. As Reddit Lucios are looking like they will manage to get back control of the point. A bit of a strange shatter there towards the end, however, for Crake.
Yeah, Crake kind of shatters there at the end without many of his teammates around. I think you would really want that ultimate back as we go into this attack. All you're going to have for your Riamus Daycare is going to be the Ant Matrix, which is very, very good. But Reddit Lucios have plenty of opportunities to just kite around that if they play this right.
Riptire comes out very early on, and all it's going to do is take down Tanic Beast Immortality Field. Now very fast engagement coming out from the defending side of Reddit Lucios, and they do manage to take down the Symmetra. Shatter gets dropped, hits a couple of members of Riamus Daycare, and Reddit Lucios building up to 93% now, as Riamus Daycare are looking like they're going to drop this opening round.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch. Overall, great organization there from Team Reddit Lucios. They really put themselves together when the Feifels came out with the Riptire. That was a really great immortality field from the Baptiste of Reddit Lucios. The name is escaping me at the moment. It's Tanic B. Great stuff from Tanic B. As we now move on to Gardens, and we see some wholesale swaps coming out from Reddit Lucios. If they stick onto this, we've got a very interesting looking comp here with the maybe double bubble-ish comp. Maybe not. You know, we're gonna let Reddit Lucios make up their mind for a minute because they don't seem to know what they're running yet.
Yeah, you see a lot of ball comps here as well, but looks like we're just gonna see Ryan Sigma once again. Interesting choice. As there's gonna be
both teams have kind of opted for the brawl, and look at the sim walls coming into the point. But oh no, the boop I think came out from Fruits Rock, and Pizza Me Leg is out early without the fight. Yeah, that's a fight. Without the Lucio, you really can't push on your aggression. No speed boost for the side of Riamus Daycare, and Reddit Lucios absolutely takes advantage. A nice triple kill from Frozen on the Symmetra.
Yeah, great rock there by Fruit, and then gets the very early kill there. Losing your speed boost early on can cause an end to a fight.
Yeah, now Riamus Daycare is going to go ahead and swap Taken Wallet over to the Hanzo, going to take out the utility of the Symmetra for the extra damage, and we'll see. They're going to have to play a little bit slowly, but Mani with a double boop is going to shut that down instantly.
I mean, extra damage, who cares when the Lucio 3-second cooldown could just take Riamus Daycare off the side of the map. Two very quick fights from Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this comp from Riamus Daycare. You've got to play a little bit slower. You've got to give your DPS some time to whittle down the shields on the other team. And while they were doing that, they were just sort of idling about on the outside of the point. It was the easiest scoop of Mani's life.
Yeah, Shatter, though, from Dempsey doesn't actually find anything. Freaks very far into the backline. And Dempsey caught in between basically two separate segments of Riamus Daycare, but trades are in. The Ant Matrix gets thrown down, but then Essence is killed soon after, and everybody for Riamus Daycare is still falling down, and Reddit Lucios are looking very fine here on the second point.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios looking very strong. I think Riamus Daycare got the first kill, and they sort of thought, oh, we won this. We can press W now. But the team coordination wasn't quite there, and several players got caught out. Here's a nice high noon Gravitic Flux combo that will get one.
Yeah, and then we're going to have a counterflux come through. Another blue buff onto the edge from Monty, and the crit's falling very low as well. Fruit gets another environmental kill this map. As Reddit Lucios are looking to 100-0 this point. Riamus Daycare is going to have to make some very late swaps. And is anybody going to be able to touch? Oh, the boop off pizza. Oh, okay, so they do actually end up getting a touch there very last second.
Yeah, but Mani with his fourth, I think, boop kill of this round is going to help Reddit Lucios say goodbye to this round of Lijiang Tower with a victory of 100-0. Reddit Lucios just looked so solid in that round of Gardens, absolutely dominated the Brawl v Brawl.
Yeah, Fruit had 2 environmental kills, as the Sigma, which is something you don't see every day. Monty managed to find
Fruit. I think Fruit was a very key player on the side of Reddit Lucios there. His Gravitic Fluxes were on point every single time. And I think just the overall damage that he was able to get with his primary fire, Sigma's primary fire, that's very difficult to hit, but it is some area of effect damage, and it can be very, very effective, especially into these sort of brawl comps where everyone's grouped up together. I think he did a fantastic job putting in that consistent damage and making those plays with the Gravitic Flux and the rocks when he needed to. So early standout player for me on the side of Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios looking good there on the opening map. I don't think it was kind of that second point is a point where you tend to see more of the dive compositions, but instead we saw the brawl continue through, which was something quite interesting. And I wonder if Riamus Daycare would have had a bit better of a time trying to run that dive into the brawl, but they opted not to, and it's just interesting to see that the teams both thought that the brawl is better on a point that has historically been dominated by dive.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to what you're comfortable with. Both teams, obviously, I think we saw Reddit Lucios kind of thinking about going for a more divey composition, then a double bubble composition, and then they finally settled back onto the brawl because that's what they wanted to play. That's what they've been practicing. That's what they're comfortable with. And I think in these kinds of divisions, it's probably better to play what you're comfortable with instead of what exactly is meta. So Reddit Lucios, I mean, and their gamble sort of paid off. I do think Riamus Daycare could have had a lot of success going into maybe a Pharah or an Echo comp. Reddit Lucios' composition didn't really have much to deal with that. The Symmetra beam can only reach so far. But once again, probably a comfort thing. It's probably what they've been practicing as well. And when it came to the mirror, Reddit Lucios came out on top. So if I'm Riamus Daycare, I'm thinking, okay, how do I go on to either win this mirror match? What was the problem? Why were we losing? I think it was mostly because they were controlling the tempo, controlling the aggression. Even when Riamus Daycare used early ults, they were not able to sufficiently capitalize on it because of Reddit Lucios' ults. Or what are some counter compositions we could do to try and break this currently unbreakable brawl of Reddit Lucios?
Yeah, but now we're going to be heading over to Escort, map selection of course, Riamus Daycare, and it's going to be Eichenwald. I think it's how is the proper way to pronounce it? I forget.
Eichenwald, that's right.
No, there's a the German pronunciation.
Oh, I don't know that.
They kept saying on the Overwatch League broadcast, and now I just completely forgot it. But and now I sound really stupid. Okay, but now we are getting ready to get underway in the second map. Eichenwald's a bit interesting map. You tend to see King's Row or a Hollywood selection, but this tells me that Riamus Daycare want to try to run maybe some more ball comps, and that currently looks like what they want to run.
Yeah, I think I get the exact same thing. Riamus Daycare in picking Eichenwald shows that they really want to try and go a little bit off of that brawl, force Reddit Lucios maybe a little bit out of their comfort zone. And currently on the defense, Reddit Lucios showing something a little bit different. We got a double bubble comp with Mani on the Mercy, probably trying to pocket Frozen on the Ashe. So we'll see how that is going to match up against Feifels on the Widow. See, maybe Feifels goes for an early jump shot here, but doesn't hit it. And Pizza Me Like is probably going to move on to Brig as a result. Try and go. Oh, actually, Feifels swaps onto the Echo, so we've got a bit of an Echo comp here. Feifel's going to be playing into Reborn and Frozen, going to be tough.
Yeah, the support line for Riamus Daycare is already fallen, so that's the fight. It's like losing your tank line. As soon as it happens, the fight's over. Very fast reset forced.
Yeah, you can't lose your Brig that early, especially when the Brig's supposed to be the main person sort of in charge of anti-dive right now. Pizza Me Like has to be a little more cautious there of the jump in from Dempsey, and I think Fruit and Reborn are going in with him as well. As now, Frozen actually, in the back, has been doing a lot of damage, currently the closest to his ultimate of anyone in the lobby.
Yes, they're going to be forced to pull back and rotate to the point here. As very nice headshot for Frozen onto Pizza Me Like, and that's just very nice start into this fight, but Tanik is dove on the backline peel to keep him alive. Bob is now thrown onto the point as the backline for Reddit Lucios has fallen, but the players are, well, the rest of the team is still holding strong. Tracer 1v1 won by taking Wallet, which is a good way to continue this fight, as this is a very elongated and scrappy fight, and I want to say that Riamus Daycare are looking like they have the advantage currently.
Yeah, they do have the slight spawn advantage, so as long as they keep managing to trade and keep managing to put pressure on the point, which is exactly what they did as soon as the Bob went away, Riamus Daycare should come out ahead, and that is exactly what to do. Actually, Crake is going to invest the Primal here to try and I think maybe jumped in a little too far and is using that as an escape tool, because other than that, I don't really see why you would use that ult there. Both teams, now going into the next fight, have the Graviton Surge ready, and I think who is able to use the grab first and who's able to capitalize better off of it will be key for this next fight.
Yeah, as we're going to see the Winston put some pressure on the point there. Tanik has the nano boost to keep him alive, and there it's thrown in. Ooh, great shot there by Frozen. Takes down Feifels from the sky. It's a very nice start to the fight. He's going to find a double kill. Frozen taking names, finds a third. Didn't get to see his POV for the last two, but I'm sure they were nice as he picks up a triple kill and a team fight win.
Frozen very much showing his competence on these long-range hit-scan heroes, and the thing is, when you can do that, I mean, there really isn't much from Riamus Daycare that can shut him down. Their comp very much relies on the poke of Feifels on the Echo, and then the dive of Taken Wallet and Crake, and that gets very difficult to keep up when you got a sniper taking off your head.
Yeah, as you're going to see Nano duplicate support onto his area, as the Brig is taken down in the backline, so good opening pick there for Riamus Daycare. There's a follow-up on the Feifels as well. Defensive side of Reddit Lucios is looking quite juicy so far in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely, and the early grab from Fruit proved to be extremely beneficial. Riamus Daycare didn't lose anyone to the grab, but they were forced to use a lot. Oh no, Craig is... sorry, Master Dempsey is off the map.
I mean, they could go for a fast re-engage now while Creek falls, so it's no longer really plausible.
Yeah, Reborn is just on this cart, delaying it for as long as he possibly can, and is doing wonders right now. As throughout all of this, Riamus Daycare has barely made any point progress. Yeah,
they have taken some good map control, though, and get a trade, but there's a Resurrect available. The Nano Boost onto the Zarya provides so much damage, and then they're just going to push on forward. I think it's a bit of a waste of a graph there, but style points, I guess, as that's going to be Reddit Lucios kind of having a stronghold here on the second point.
Yeah, I mean, the default in these kinds of comps seem to be to Nano the monkey, make sure that you can get that extra damage with the multi-attack ability of his Tesla cannon, but don't sleep on the Zarya, especially when she's charged up and when the tracking is on point. She can do tons of damage, as we just saw there from Fruit. Investing the grab, I do agree, maybe a bit of an over-investment, but you want to make sure that Winston on the other team doesn't get away.
Yeah, we're gonna see a Nano Boost applied onto Creek, but he gets anti-nated, so he's facing so much pressure, he barely makes it out with Flight, but Feifels is not so lucky, as inside of this castle, there's a slaughter, as Riamus Daycare getting removed. A rally committed very late into the fight as well, so overall a very productive fight there from Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, that was a beautiful anti-nade coming out from Tanic B. If he didn't get that onto the nano-boosted Winston of Crake, Reddit Lucios would have been in a lot of trouble because that Winston was set to do tons of damage, probably even get his primal within that nano boost. But the nano forced them, the anti-nade forced them to back up, and then Reddit Lucios were able to take the aggression from there. Nice little high before we get into the next fight.
Yeah, that's a big sleep on a Dempsey mid-primal rage, so can't get any work done with that, but a pick comes through, and that's a double. As soon as Master Dempsey wakes up, he gets a frag there as everybody is gonna get taken out for Riamus Daycare as Frozen.
Yeah, you can't leave Frozen by himself up here. He's just going to rain down shots, rain down dynamite, all this poke damage coming out from the Ashe is just giving Riamus Daycare so much trouble. As now we're looking at the final fight, and all Riamus Daycare is going to have really is the duplicate, and he's already slept.
What a sleep for
beautiful
Panic. I mean, now, they don't have to sleep currently for Crake when he tries to engage there, but gonna be Nano Boost onto Dempsey, putting so much pressure on the backline in tandem with Reborn. Takes down Essence. Bonnie gets traded down. You cannot resurrect that due to the fact that it was the Mercy that was fallen. Tanic walks off the edge. Alright, well...
it happens.
Yeah, as Riamus Daycare looking lost for an answer here, as it's looking like the cart is most likely just going to be ending here. The Graviton Surge to help secure this defense. Reddit Lucios are going to stall out the cart. Pretty good defense, all things considered.
Really good defense. I think that Riamus Daycare really needed to make an adjustment at some point, either in their playstyle or in their comp, to better deal with the long-range damage of the Ashe. You didn't see Frozen in the kill feed as much as maybe someone like Fruit, who was doing a bunch of frontline damage, but don't get it wrong, the poke damage that he was doing with his, first of all, just his primary fire, and then also with the beautiful dynamites that we saw him get off, getting 3 or more members of Riamus Daycare at a time. That adds up, and Riamus Daycare is forced to use resources, use abilities to negate that, and then just makes it so much easier for Master Dempsey and Fruit to push in.
Yeah, for sure, as now we are going to be switching sides here. Riamus
I'll be interested to see if Riamus Daycare wants to stick onto this For Mercy comp.
Looks like they will. They've come out of spawn and are set up, so looks like we are going to see a double shield pharmacy comp. Interested to see how Reddit Lucios chooses to tackle this.
Yeah, this is a comp that's really just dedicated to trying to stick themselves down in one place and not move, which I'm sure Riamus Daycare is currently in the mindset of, we've gotta just try and hold first for as long as possible. If Reddit Lucios are able to quickly take point A and have something like 4 to 5 minutes on the clock to take, to just end the map, that is worst case scenario. So this poke comp coming out from Riamus Daycare, they're just going to try and get picks as Reddit Lucios tries to come in.
Yes, there. Ooh, Fruit is trying to get out with his life there, but ends up getting caught. And Tanic is dropped as well, so before Reddit Lucios can really make an engagement, there's just too much poke for them to deal with.
Yeah, this poke coming out from Riamus Daycare is extremely powerful. This choke on Eichenwald first, very much defender heavy, as Yeah, Reddit Lucio's having some trouble trying to break past this Ashe and For Mercy combo.
Yeah, oh, good hold there, and it groups them all together. And then the damage is just too much. The combination of taking Mullet's Dynamite with Fightful's rockets there is a mid-air shot onto Frozen. As this is looking good so far for Reddit Lucios. Looking good for Riamus Daycare, excuse me, on their defense as Korea can mess up Bongo.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure that you that Fruit doesn't get out with that energy for sure, and he will go down. That is some beautiful forward play we're seeing so far from Fightfuls. Hasn't really been much of a factor in this game so far, but now this guy is popping off and is making Reddit Lucios sweat, I think, for the first time really in this game. Frozen makes the swap onto McCree to try and be able to more freely challenge this this aerial DPS.
Yeah, Barrage gets dropped through. It actually ends up costing him his life. It only takes down one. That can be rezzed on up. So now it's a two-player advantage for Reddit Lucios. Bob is going to be leaving the fight as well. Now Dempsey's going to head into the backline, close to his Primal Rage, inside of the small room, putting a lot of pressure onto this backline, pulls it out, and is moving them closer to third than they are first. As this is looking like Reddit Lucios took them a bit. There was a bit of troubles, but I would say I was going to say over-engage, that's not the word, but kind of they pushed up too far.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare really wanted to control the tempo there, so they use ultimates really early and really far up. Unfortunately, using a barrage by yourself in front of the rest of the team is like the worst case scenario, because then you're just a stationary target saying, please shoot me in the head. So, Fightfuls ends up going down, Tanik gets another great pick with these anti-nades which have been so good so far. And now, 3 minutes and 30 seconds are on the clock for Reddit Lucios to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, the Flux puts a lot of pressure onto Reddit. So they are forced to kind of fight back for now, waiting for the singular respawn. Engagement's going to come through into the high ground. Dempsey's just going to try to put pressure on. It does manage to take down Pizza Me like. Good opening. Mercies are traded down, however, and Dempsey falls, so no Winston for the attacking side. And this is, I was going to say, it looks like they may want to reset this, but with that kill on a Dempsey, they may have other plans.
Yeah, they don't really have much time to reset this, Riamu does. I mean, the cart is very quickly going towards the golden box of victory, and Frank is managed, but he's also grabbed, and he's also antied. The picks continue to flow through for Reddit Lucios as Frozen is going to take out the aerial DPS with a high noon and take out any chance of Riamus Daycare to take this map. That's 2-0 for Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios taking a 2-0 lead. What is a very important game of the season. And a pretty dominant second map here. The start of their attack was a bit shaky, and then the start of their defense was too. If you
that's such a good shot from Fightful. Yeah. I can't get past that. That shot onto the airborne Ashe. That's just wow, so good.
Yeah, but Riamus Daycare, they capped first pretty quickly, and all thinking back about it, and so it was a really nice second point hold from Reddit Lucios. And then on their attack, they struggled to get to first for quite a while. Then once they got to second point, it was very quickly that they were managed to push through there. So it was a bit of a theme there going through, but a very good start for Reddit Lucios as they are now up 2-0 and are one map away from taking the series.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare, I think, did a pretty decent job. Nice adjustment there with the Pharah Ashe double shield sort of poke comp. It was the right sort of comp for the scenario, and Reddit Lucios had trouble with it for a while. But Riamu's hubris got the better of them eventually, and I gotta say, shout out to Reddit Lucios. They did a great job of capitalizing on their opponent's mistakes there. Managed to take first point and just sort of snowball that into a map win.
Yeah, very nicely done there by Reddit Lucios. And so, Riamus Daycare are now going to need to reverse sweep, and I think they need to make some major adjustments if they would want to do this. So, I'm interested to see if they're able to make the adjustments in between map number 2 and 3. But while they make those adjustments, we can. I was going to say make these adjustments to something, but I couldn't think of anything. But essentially, we're going to be heading to a break, and then we will be back with the rest of the series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Get Good North America Season 7 Intermediate Division. I'm Joe Razor, joined here by Dividing, and we are going to be getting ready to hop into our third map of this first to three.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare very much put up against the ropes first in their first two maps. We're going to Junkertown. That is where Riamus Daycare has decided to put potentially their playoff hopes, which shows me that they are very confident in their double shield comps, because that's what I expect to be run on Junkertown, and I would kind of believe them. They actually had a decent amount of success playing double shield on Eichenwald just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, they look decent on the double shield and Eichenwald, like you mentioned. So I wonder if they're going to run that. You could see some ball like Sigma, most likely. Ball Diva's been getting some play too. So you could see that on Junkertown. But like you said, I do imagine we'll see probably that double shield, most likely with the double sniper. That we'll see the Widowmaker. Historically, it's been kind of the biggest Widow map in the game, but she's due to a lot of nerfs recently. She's just not as good as like your Ashe or your Hanzo.
Listen, if there is a Widow main on either of these teams, they are currently begging everyone else to let them play Widow. I mean, come on, it's Junkertown. Just let them do it. They'll pop off, I promise. And hopefully one of them is able to convince them, because I would love to see some good Widowmaker 1v1 action on this map.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Widow? But we are getting in now. We're going to see Reddit Lucios start on the defense, and it's going to be Riamus Daycare starting on the attacking side, so we'll get to see a better idea. We will be able to get a better idea of what Reddit Lucios want to run.
Yeah, of course, Junkertown, known as a double sniper map for its long sight lines, especially on this first map. But Riamus Daycare, if they stick on this, they're going in a very different direction. We're seeing some nice old 2019 edition pirate ship, but they swap off of those double shield comps. So I doubt
you run the
staying.
Bastion Torb anyways. Trust me, it's a good idea. Widow, though, frozen. Going to be locking the French sniper for the defense.
Yeah, it's a little more traditional than what you see on Junkertown these days. Riamus Daycare still adds 15 seconds to change. Maybe we see the DPS change, maybe we see the tanks change. I'm not really sure yet. Still making some decisions, but with 5 seconds left, we're going to be seeing Fifles on the Genji, which is a very interesting pick. Trying to dive in and potentially put some immediate pressure on these snipers. As Frozen goes up for a jump shot. Oh my goodness! Just
get him out! Oh my!
Asserting dominance in the Widow 1v1 early, taking Wallet, taken back to spawn.
I mean, he's just built differently. DPS line removed.
Oh, he's going for another one.
Yeah, he is.
Nah,
this time, it nearly hits the flick, but it's actually going to be the jump shot from taking Wallet that takes down Canopy. Good opening there.
Yeah,
so now
no Discord orb now for Reddit Lucios makes the job of the snipers just that much difficult. They're going to need to get their damage done the old-fashioned way, I guess. As taken Wallet now looking for a bit of an angle. Jump shot taken again. Manages to get a nice shot on the Arisa as Riamus Daycare pushes forward.
Yeah, they're going to try and move forward here. As Genji facing a lot of pressure, forced to fall back. Reddit Lucio's going to regain some of this map control as they're going to stand directly over the cart and try an attempt at a pincer move could cost shot time is life, and it does. And a nice shot by Reborn on to take a while to follow up as Reddit Lucio holding strong so far.
Yeah, nice little flank coming out from the members of Reddit Lucios. I don't think Riamus Daycare were expecting the Hanzo to come around to their back left. But that is in fact what ended up happening, and that extra pressure from that extra angle was just too much to deal with. Now Riamus Daycare pushing in again. They will have the Amp Matrix from Essence, and also probably the Bongo coming up from Crake. So they will have tools, a lot of damage Amp Matrix tools, but trade's coming either way.
Yeah, trades do come through. Widow 1v1 though, which can be very big in winning these fights. As he actually falls right outside of the range of the Immortality field, so Essence is going to end up going down there. And Fruit's doing such a good job at keeping himself alive through the Dragon Strike to essentially peel for his Sigma. Causes Creek to fall. Blade now comes through from Five Fools, and he doesn't find anything. The Immortality field does good enough to keep players alive early on, and then Reborn hits the shots needed. So now Riamus Daycare are going to have to go for a bit of a soft reset.
Yeah, this Genji from Fifles has not been getting the value that they have been hoping for so far, and with the dry blade really just kind of coming out, going out with a whimper a bit. The Immortality field was there, the damage was there, and Fifles is stunned up and dead again. I'd be considering a switch if I was him.
Yeah, Reborn's caught out though, so it's a DPS trade. Bonga now for the offensive side. There's a window placed down, but nobody's able to utilize it because they're all dead. Riamus Daycare, off some kind of wacky positioning from Reddit Lucios, are able to regain control of the cart.
Yeah, beautiful Bongo coming out from Crake there when everyone was sort of lined up for him and the rest of his team.
Fifles just can't not be dead.
Yeah, Fifles, I think, at this point is spending more time in spawn than on the field, but Taken Wallet is more than willing to pick up the slack. A nice double kill for him as Riamus Daycare is rounding the last corner to the end of the first point. However, there's plenty of time for Reddit Lucios to get one final recontest and go for a full hold here. And they'll have the Trans and the Bongo to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it gets booped away! Nobody's able to touch! What a whip shot from Pizza Me Light to keep Dempsey from being able to get down to the cart. So that's going to be first point captured up now. As Reddit Lucios going to give up some of the space now that they're unable to fight over first.
Yeah, with the ult that Reddit Lucios had, I honestly thought that if they went for the recontest, there was a very good chance they would win. Here's a big Gravitic Plus from Chow Time, keeping up the aggression. But both the other grab comes out the counter, and looks like Reddit Lucios will in fact come out on top, which I think just shows just how important if that whip shot was from Pizza Me Lake. I think could have very well been a full hold if that didn't force Master Dempsey off. Well, really force Master Dempsey back on to the high ground.
Yeah, Side are going to come through now as they're going to slowly approach this. Ooh, good angle. Not able to hit the shot. As the wrist is just going to drop onto Taken Wallet. I mean, that's just such a nice play there. Heads up play for Master Dempsey to remove the Widow from the fight. Dragon Strike gets thrown in and forces the position of Riamus Daycare. No kills result in it, however, as the ones that are being forced back are Reddit Lucios. Their Rissa is still coming back from spawn, so they don't currently have the players necessary to engage. Bongo's gonna come out though. Blade is there! Oh my! 1-3 kills! Fifles finds 4. Nice headshot there from Frozen. But the entire team is dead. I mean, it's fairly close to a ace there, but well done there by Fifles to just shut down Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, nice Bongo boosted blade play coming out from Riamus Daycare. I mean, getting the Bongo boost onto the blade is almost as good as the Nano, and it allows the Genji to play a little bit closer to the rest of his team to get the support that he needs for that blade. And that is what happened with a beautiful just 3K dash. However, Crate going down early means that Reddit Lucios should be able to...
Oh my! It's just a fucking deflect! I mean, that's incredible. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be able to win this fight as it's currently in even goings. Respawns are closer though from the attacker side, so they will have the players return slightly faster than the defense as they are going to be forced on back. Dragon Strike thrown in by Reborn does a lot of damage and splits them off. So you see Essence is caught out, but he's able to stay alive for now. As Reborn off to the side goes down. We're talking about Fightful's not finding much value, but currently he is taking over this game. Gravitic Flux can now go in for free if Showtime wanted to, due to the fact that the Immortality Field has dropped. And that's going to be absolutely massive. Once again, 1 dash, 2 kills. Or maybe that was 2 dashes, I don't know. As this is going to be Riamus Daycare continuing this cart progress.
This has been a very good adjustment in Riamus Daycare's game plan. In point A, Fightful's was playing a lot more independently and getting picked off early a lot because of it. Now he's playing off of his team a lot more, building combos with his tank line, and it's working out so good for them. Fightful suddenly really taking over this game. But that's a nice flush there from Fruit to instantly put a pin in that attack. 30 seconds on the clock for Riamus Daycare. They do have, however, the Bongo Blade yet again. Reddit Lucios should be aware of that and should be preparing for it.
Yeah, they do have some stuff to shut down there. You got a couple of stuns, the Mortality Field as well, as Reborn is... like, we didn't mention it, but swapped over to Genji, and now we also have no Widow on either side, as both are on the McCree. As Showtime going down early, it's going to cause a lot of problems. They can't even really get one fight. There's going to be a touch on the card, as Fightful's going to manage to find one. Looking to find a second to stun up and take it down, and Dempsey's the one who finds a double, and everybody's going to drop from Riamus Daycare. Was a good push, considering how well first point ended up, but Reddit Lucios, I think you can't be happy with that defense.
Yeah, I think both teams are going into that pretty happy. Riamus Daycare, considering how rough their attack was looking, how close they really were to getting full held, really put a decent attack together. However, Reddit Lucios were able to stop it pretty decently far away from the end of the map, actually. And that's big, because the further away the cart is from your spawn room as the defenders, the more awkward it's going to be to try and stagger onto that point at the very end. So decent stuff there. Both teams, I think, can go back very happy. And Fightful is going to come out on the Genji again, which I'm not complaining about after what I saw a couple minutes ago. I'll be interested to see how it might combo with Crake on this Wrecking Ball. Never mind, he swapped to Orisa. I should just stop talking.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the double shield defense. Not sure what the attack's gonna run. If they run the comp they're currently hovering, I will uninstall Overwatch. Probably should have done that a long time ago. But it's gonna be the double shield, so no uninstalling Overwatch for me. They're gonna end up running this double shield Bastion. So the pirate ship comp used to be dominant on this map. Not so much playtime recently, though.
I'm wondering if this is maybe a specific counterplay to the Fightful's Genji. Because, I mean, there's no way Fightful's is getting anywhere close to this Bastion without getting melted right now. And Frozen win the 1v1 against Taken Wallet. I mean, Riamus Daycare is just forced to basically hide away. And look at all the free push that Reddit Lucios has gotten onto the cart before anything's really happened yet.
Yeah, and then when Riamus Daycare tried to make something happen, well, they just kind of died. So they need to make some comp adjustments, I think, because I think running this comp is just gonna get you melted, and it's an absolute disaster on the battlefield there. Fightful tries to make something happen, but goes down late. So that's just gonna be, took them 1 minute exactly to cap up first point there. And if they don't make a swap compositionally for Riamus Daycare, I would be worried for their chances.
That cart barely stopped moving there for Reddit Lucios. Beautiful overall play from the Double Shield Bastion. They were able to set up very effectively, but now maybe Fruit taking off a little more than he can chew. Looks like he'll just barely be able to get away, though, as Reddit Lucios just continues to charge forward. Riamus Daycare have been forced to play so passively and give up so much space because of all of these sight lines that Reborn is dominating on this Bastion.
Yeah, he's just able to move the cart in. They do manage to get the drop onto him. There's a Flux and Immortality field to basically fuel for a Resurrect, however. It's able to come through. There's going to be a window now for the defensive side, but Reborn manages to find one before being taken out there by Essence. Now the player advantage is still in the attacker's favor. It's though, I mean, I don't know if you would call that like it was basically a Flux to peel for a res, and that's put them in a winnable spot now. Blade though puts out for Fightfuls. He manages to find 2 already, and the rest of the attack is going to start to fall, so it was looking very, very winnable for Reddit Lucios, but just not able to sustain it.
Yeah, that was a fun set play, especially when we were watching from Reborn's perspective to see 6 people jump on you at the same time from above. That was great, and importantly, it broke this pirate ship of Reddit Lucios. We're forced to use so many resources to try and recover, but just couldn't do it once the Bastion was off the cart. They are going to keep Reborn on this Bastion, probably for this tank mode. Which I'm sure Riamus Daycare knows he has, but there are some nice shots from Taken Wallet as they try to come in, so Rez is going to be committed early from Tanakby.
Yeah, very nicely done there to start this off. They're going to try to rotate around. Bikes have now come out from the side of Reddit Lucios. There's the tank configuration.
Oh, no.
But the kills are just not going to be able to go their way. It's just a very nice hold there from Riamus Daycare. They use the abilities and resources necessary to shut down the ultimates thrown in.
Reddit Lucios used 4 ults basically at once, and they got nothing out of it. That was some beautiful play from Riamus Daycare. The Flux from Chow Time came up big to interrupt Reddit Lucios' momentum. They were trying to get some picks off with the tank mode plus Amp Matrix, but it just didn't happen thanks to the aggression from Riamus Daycare. And now we see a bunch of swaps coming out from Reddit Lucios as they're basically forced back to the drawing board. We don't see attacks get stalled for so long on Point B Junkertown like this.
Yeah, Fox is going to come through for Brute. Barely managing to stay alive, but will manage to take your wallet, who's going to end up falling early. Been getting a lot of work done, so that's a very good opening pick. And then Creek, who's now swapped over onto the ball, removed from the fight, so this is looking good for the attacking side. Interesting comp choices. It looks like they're going to start to make some changes.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare is going to swap Crake over to the monkey. Maybe, I'm wondering what this monkey will jump on. Frozen, well, where can you even jump off the map on Junkertown?
Wait, that's first point.
Is he all the way back in first point? What? But anyways, lots of aggression coming out from Riamus Daycare to try and stop this early, and the picks come through. Looks like Riamus Daycare's game plan is to try and use the Winston to control this high ground, and so far it's working out well.
Yeah, it sure is. Basically allowed to take a 5v6. It's just going to be a rally now come out from Keep the Meal like this. It looks like re-engagement is getting ready. The hole into the Flux, however, is going to pick up a couple of players. There's the counter Flux available, but it's going to be the Blade that's going to be opening up this fight. It's going to find 1 kills, and that's going to be more than enough. It's going to be Riamus Gaming continuing to hold.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare looking more and more confident as these fights go on. They're doing a much better job of controlling the tempo, controlling the aggression. Reddit Lucios just aren't ready for the quick fights that Riamus Daycare are trying to take right now. Beautiful play overall from them, and they still have both tank ultimates coming up, starting with this Gravitic Flux from Chow Time. Reborn is down, and that should almost guarantee it with Frozen going down in this high noon. That is another lost fight guaranteed for Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, it's just such quick fights as well, so it's not draining as much time as your normal elongated fight, but Reddit Lucios are just sticking around here. They have a couple of players still alive. Blade's gonna come out. Great accretion! Taken down! And that's phenomenal, as they will now take this player advantage. The Bongo in the window don't get a ton of value, but it does result in 1 kill a bit later. And there's a second, so even though the Blade got shut down, the kills are going to go the way of Reddit Lucios.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios were able to push through on the incredible damage boost of both the Amp Matrix and the and the Bongo from the Orisa. But I have to give a shout out to Chow Time there. That rock onto the blading Genji was beautiful. But now we're in last fight territory. Riamus Daycare has got to make something happen soon. Can't get picked off here.
Yeah, ooh, what a shot to pick the wallet. Flashbang and pushed over to Reborn, taking him down. That's an aim labs flip. He's been obviously on the Kovacs. As there's a couple of kills that get traded through. However, Hydra froze. It's going to buy a decent amount of space. And Red Lucios are going to capitalize on that. They're going to push on through. Rowley's going to come out as the blade is there. Cretion's going to actually end up hitting the Monk instead of the Genji. And so Feifel's able to find one kill onto Tanic B. That's looking like it's going to be enough in combination with the Flux. Only 15 seconds left to Riamus Daycare looking good to possibly take this map.
Yeah, Riamus Daycare, though, invested absolutely everything to hold on to that fight, to keep Feifels alive, to keep doing the damage. Reddit Lucios also forced to make swaps to try and get themselves on the point. The accretion from Chowtime is once again amazing. Keeps the Wrecking Ball from touching, and Riamus Daycare is going to take us to a fourth map.
Yeah, okay, so we could think back just a bit, right? We saw Reborn just fall through the floor, or die on A, one of the two, right? And so him dying there gave them a 5v6 and basically bought them an entire minute. And so whether he was back on first for some reason or the game just decided to stop working and actually just fell through the floor, we may never know. But
yeah, I'd love to see that replay. I don't know.
We're gonna need to get the replay code. We're gonna need to check it out. But yeah, it was it kind of confusing there, that whole situation. But it was a nice map overall from Riamus Daycare. They made some good adjustments on their attack. They made the adjustments necessary to get some good cart progress after they got stalled out for a while on first point. And on their defense, they made good adjustments to what was looking like possibly a very dominant attack from Reddit Lucios for kind of first half of the map. They looked very lost on that defensive side, but they made the adjustments necessary to be able to take it.
Yeah, and I think that's key coming out from Riamus Daycare. On both Lijiang and on Eichenwald, we saw Riamus Daycare sort of take the mirrors with Reddit Lucios and just get destroyed on those mirror matchups over and over and over again. They didn't really try anything new. They just kept on trying to win the mirror, and it didn't happen. This time, Riamus Daycare played something a little bit different, and they played it well enough that Reddit Lucios was taken off guard. Even the pirate ship was not enough to break Riamu's Genji Widow double shield comp on Junkertown. So beautiful stuff coming out from Riamus Daycare as we get to cast another map in this match, Joe.
Yeah, speaking of another map, we're going to be heading on to Hanamura. It's going to be our 2CP Assault, the bane of the Overwatch player's existence. Map type which won't be in Overwatch 2. So it's going to be Hanamura, like I mentioned. This is, of course, Reddit Lucio's pick, as it is loser's pick here.
Yeah, and I think this is Reddit Lucios trying to force Riamus back onto a brawl mirror, where we saw them take such a convincing lead on Lijiang. Yeah, as I think Riamus Daycare is either going to have to get kind of creative with maybe a Symmetra sort of comp, or maybe I've seen Faras and Echoes get some value on point A on Hanamura, or just figure out how exactly they win this brawl mirror against Reddit Lucios, because without that, they will. What I'll say is, if this map looks the same as Lijiang Gardens, Riamus Daycare is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, they possibly could be after two dominant maps. They did manage to answer back. So We have to see if they're able to do so here on Hanamura. But like you said, it's going to probably force a Brawl Mirror. Definitely for first point. You can switch over to Dive on second, but it is still very hard to execute. So I do imagine we just see the Ryan Diva, most likely. You could see the Ryan Sigma like they've wanted to run. I'd honestly be surprised if we saw Ryan Zarya, but we will see what the teams do opt to run.
Yeah, I mean, Brawl tends to be the default on Hanamura. However, there are several different variations that are viable. Like I mentioned, you could go with the very standard sort of Mei McCree. Frozen currently showing a Symmetra currently on the attack. I believe the overlay is swapped here. Riamus Daycare is on defense. Reddit Lucios on attack. I'll be very interested to see if Frozen will potentially try and do a quick TP onto the point here, take Reddit Lucios off guard, who currently have Fifles on the Pharah, which, I mean, honestly, Riamus Daycare Reddit Lucios don't have much to counter that currently.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, overlays are currently fucked. Hopefully we can fix that. So Reddit Lucios are the one on the attack. And they're gonna TP straight to point. Oh, actually not straight to point. They're gonna go a bit above, kind of your new traditional teleporter spot. It's gonna be a 2-for-2 trades coming through. A support and a tank lost for one side, and supporting DPS lost for the other. But now you can just see Fifles has free reign just to fire rockets over top of the point there. The Creek is the one that ends up going down there. Short picks up a double kill, doing God's work. Finds a third as he's looking very nice, as this is going to be Reddit Lucios with a very quick cap, over 6 minutes to capture up second.
Yeah, losing Chow time early there is brutal for Riamu. Reddit Lucios with their Ryan, Zarya, Mei have terrific point presence. And if you're Riamu's Daycare with this sort of poke comp, you're really depending on Chow time. Oh man, early Barrage and Fifles get 3 is gonna shut down the snowball attempts, but like I was saying, Fifles obviously got a very quick barrage there, was able to do a bunch of poke damage, but you're really depending on Shao time on the Sigma to be able to contest the point if you're Riamu's Daycare in this comp, and when he goes down early, your ability to contest this Ryan, Zarya, Mei, McCree, now that Frozen is showing, is very, very difficult without getting a bunch of picks at once.
Yes, what a shot for Take the Wall and flipping this up. I mean, takes Finicky down, no immortality, most of your skills gone, defense just wins off of that. I mean, that is insanity. I mean, what a shot to open this up.
Absolutely threading the needle was Taken Wallet there. I mean, that's just a good Hanzo shot. Good crosshair placement. And Reddit Lucios, currently showing a very traditional brawl, cannot really take any one of their members dying early. That's kind of the thing. If one of Riamu's Daycare's players die early, usually they're kind of able to stay in the fight because of how independent their characters are individually. Reddit Lucios, if they lose one person, their whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, and interesting that the defense is often around the Sigma with the Winston. It's working pretty well, however. Different rotation, though, for Reddit Lucios. They're just going to go to the point, and it's a disaster, as they all could end up falling. Fifles kills himself, doing the other world, but Pizza Mulek says, nah, Rez isn't back up, as this is going to be the reset. Very, very... It was a nice attempt there by Reddit Lucios to wrap underneath. It does give him just a bit more than a tick, but just doesn't quite work.
Yeah, and again, we see the superior point presence of Reddit Lucios coming into play. Honestly, they were getting picked off left and right as they walked onto the point, but because they were able to walk onto the point, they still walk away with the tick, which I think is great. And now they will have the... Oh no, Fifles takes it down.
The Sigma shield killed him! I mean, that's such a nice play there. That's such a nice play there as the Reinhardt shield blocks the damage and causes him to take it, and they don't get to the point! That's a Charlie Niner!
That's what I've been saying, man. The point presence from Riamus
A
Daycare.
London Spitfire parent company. a Tens is getting their owner a Bugatti for each day he plays with Sentinels.
I would say that they did not get on the point in time. Yeah. Again, I was saying this after like every fight. Riamus Daycare's comp struggles to contest the point when Reddit Lucios really like stakes a claim onto it. Their comp really relies more onto the long-range poke of Feifels. And when Reddit Lucios just took them out and then ran onto the point, Riamus Daycare had a lot of trouble being able to contest them. And I mean, even so, though, they just didn't even touch. Like, there should have been someone touching. And I think there was definitely a breakdown in communication there, where I think when you're playing this comp and you're Riamus Daycare, you've got to be like, okay, this person has to be contesting the point if it comes to that. And that just didn't happen. Reddit Lucios got 2 full ticks basically for free.
Yeah, and the thing was, it wasn't even like they had lost a lot of players. I mean, it was a very even fight for most of that engage. It's just they weren't able to get to the point safely. So, but now it's going to be Riamus Daycare's turn to attack. They're going to start on the Symmetra as well. The Ryan Diva with this Reaper as well, so a bit of a different composition than what we have seen so far this series. Gonna take the TP, then rotate down the point. This opens up a lot of shooting range for Reborn to try to pump in some damage. He's getting forced away a bit by the Sim turrets, but they don't do a whole lot of damage to him as there's his teammate coming throughout the Shaw time. Yeah, Matrix thrown in. Oh, that's a very nice concussion mine to force the force essence into his LOS, as this is going to be should be the defense holding on. Tick gained, however, from Riamus Daycare.
Yeah, tick gained there. We kind of see a role reversal here right now, where we have Riamus Daycare playing this very point-heavy brawl comp with the Symmetra teleporter, and it's Reddit Lucios now trying to poke in and get picks before ticks can be given. Tick given right at the end there to Riamus Daycare, but I think overall Reddit Lucios was doing a much better job at forcing the contest and making sure that they weren't getting value just by existing on the point.
Yeah, SimTP once again, but Essence gets picked off there. Not able to keep him up. Barrage is going to be dropped. It's going to find New. Looking for a third there. Essentially got it with the DMAC, and that's going to be a very quick and efficient fight from the defense.
Losing your Baptiste early sucks if you're Riamus Daycare. I mean, there's no immortality field there to potentially protect against Reborn's barrage. He opens up, gets a 3K, and I mean, that's the end of the fight. I think Feifels might have... No, he just swapped from Reaper. Sorry, he didn't use Kainu. He just swapped from Reaper. Reddit Lucios is going to have the grab here, and this will be crucial as he locks down so many.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal grab. And it locks everybody up like pieces. He's gonna eliminate them. Then we'll throw it in. I assume this is going to be a swap. As I would like to see him swap off the Sim earlier. They've kind of wasted 2.5 minutes trying to make something out of it, but...
Yeah, I would expect to see Taken Wallet make a switch here. He used that very late, but no, he will not. So that's just a bit unfortunate there, then. As Riamus Daycare is going to continue. No, okay, they talked about it a little bit more. They go, no, let's just go with the Mei. So now we have a very traditional brawl coming out from Riamus Daycare, but they still need to figure out how to deal with this poke damage coming out from the Pharah, from the Ashe. They're going to try and take this little wraparound to deny as many sight lines as possible. But, man, it's still going to be tough. As Reborn, you can see the rockets still just flying in.
Yeah, standard boost thrown in onto the Winston. Stun Bearer also committed as they're going to try to push forward onto the point. Barrage is online for Reborn. Boot buff onto the edge for Keep the Mic. Reborn's going to get taken out before he's able to commit the barrage, however. DMAC is going to come through and is going to force out a Diva bomb. Resurrect is available, however. Shatter's gonna go through. The barrage gets dropped. He gets traded out immediately, however. 20 seconds left on the clock. And the defense is looking like they're gonna hold strong.
Oh, this is awful for Riamus Daycare. They used something like 4 or 5 ults there, and they could not pull out the victory. Now they are forced to go onto stall heroes. Crake is forced away by the primal rage of Master Dempsey, and oh man, Riamus Daycare is looking for a miracle to stay in this game right now.
Yeah, and the grab's not gonna help him out. Nobody's able to stay on the point due to that Graviton Surge, and it's going to be Reddit Lucios securing a very crucial game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who got themselves play of the game. It is Fifles on the Pharah, so yeah, it's probably that little 4K that he got here. On a little bit of a flank there. Nice little play with the concussion mine into the barrage, so nice stuff there from Fifles. But in the end, it is Reddit Lucios coming out on top. They were more than ready for the Symmetra TP brawl plays that Riamus Daycare was pulling out there on Hanamura. I think dealt with it way better than Riamu did, and because of that, I think that was the difference that allowed Reddit Lucios to come out on top.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios looked very good this game. Even including the map that they ended up losing of Junkertown, they still looked very capable. It was a fairly close map, all things considered. So, very well done there by Reddit Lucios to take like we've said many a time, very crucial series in the overall standings. With this win, they put themselves in a much better spot to be able to make their way into the playoffs. While Riamus Daycare are gonna need to win their game next week and then get a bit of luck from some of these other teams.
Yeah, Reddit Lucios have put themselves in a very good position at a 5-2 overall record to get themselves into the top 8. A win on Sunday would pretty much guarantee that. However, getting the win today was, in fact, crucial. Riamus Daycare, like you mentioned, pretty much have to hope they win the next game and hope that some key teams lose. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, but we saw some good stuff coming out of Riamus Daycare, so who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing them in the playoffs in a bit, and I would not be sad to see it.
Yeah, I would not be sad, as they have a lot of very good players on it. If I'm not mistaken, though, we will be heading to a break as we wait for the next game to be prepared. That game will be in between the Western Washington Vikings and the Watchpoint. Not gonna try to cobble together a sentence.
Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
I think that's what it says.
We'll roll with that. Yeah, that will be our next game. That's gonna be in the Advanced Division. So, go get yourself some water. Go get yourself a snack, and then we will be back with the second game of the day.